damage now? Is that what we're gonna... Siphon. Healing received. I think I'm just gonna go for a healing thing. I think that's what we're gonna do. Oh god. Hang on, I gotta shut my curtains. There we go. Alrighty. Okay. Might need to take off my sweater here in a minute. So... blast abilities cost 50% less mana. That's what it said, right? And area abilities of 50% area. Area strike. This is strike blast. I really don't like that. To nearby enemies. Yeah, it's not big enough for me. It would have a much bigger area of effect, but I'm not really interested in that. Deal crits on low health. Strike, 4 more stagger. Blast abilities deal 50% more damage versus barrier and armor. That is kind of sexy. That is kind of... You know what? We'll go ahead and grab conductivity. I still don't know what that means. Strike abilities now hit with Arcane Bomb. Let me see. Is there any way... Because I kind of want to test it, so... I guess we could get rid of these. I mean, I could get rid of Corrupted Ground. I got all kinds of other shit, right? I use shit like Chain Lightning and whatnot. We go bam, bam, bam. Okay. This is gonna be fun. Do we use it? Because I have lightning, I have wall of fire. It's a duration spell too. This is a strike projectile. Strike blast. Projectile blast. An area spell. So it does bonus damage. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just stack bunches of shit on top of everything, right? That's kind of what we're going with here. Damage at high health. Stagger. Arcane Bomb trigger damage. Mana. Mana gen. Burning damage. Okay, what do we use here? We could do the necrotic damage for that. Is there anything else I can do? What is it? What is this? Burning damage. 20% damage versus burning. Almost every enemy I'm going to be fighting is going to be burning, right? So that's got to be good, right? Huh. All affliction. Whoa, you know what that means? That means my... If I were to do that, then that means that this would, instead of applying necrosis, would apply burning. So that basically means this would be... Yeah, wouldn't need that at all. Nah. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I might just keep it the way it is, honestly. What's up, girl? Duration ability damage. The only duration ability I have now is this one, and it's increased by area, right? Yeah, so... Yeah, area. That's blast, which is that one and that one. And we might just keep the one I got. The takedown one might be good, too. 50% stagger? The stagger is so shit, dude. It's not that great, is what I'm trying to say. Shock damage, weapon damage, final agility and charge attack damage. That actually might be good, Biting Thumb. Hold. We could just do stagger, but like stagger feels like such a good thing, but it feels, some enemies it feels like it takes fucking forever. It doesn't proc, and then when it does, it's very lackluster. It doesn't do that much fucking damage. It does stun the shit out of him though. I think I'm just gonna keep the burning one, man. Yeah. I should change that to something else though. What is the one on this? Health damage? Yeah, I should definitely change that. Yeah, I should definitely change that. I like how I have almost no armor that has that. That's great, right? All right.
Offer, dweller.
So let's enchant. Let's get rid of burning, and we'll go. We could do health. Could do max potion. Ooh, that might be nice. Chilled, shocked, crit, weak point. Detonation sounds pretty good. I mean, I am going to be doing a lot more burning. So, it might actually be a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. 75% damage while shocking. Ability stagger. Ability armor damage. Barrier damage. So when they get in my face, I got something to like throw them out. You know what I'm saying? I think defeating an enemy gives me shocking weapons, but I'm not sure. Let's do ability stagger. And then I will change this one to armor damage. Armor damage seems pretty good. Yeah, we'll do armor damage on that. Because it doesn't. Because when dudes have armor, it doesn't seem like it does anything. So, all right. And we also have that has high health damage. All right. I think we're good. Let's go talk to everybody. Let's do Solus first. Who the fuck are you? Letter with Grey Warden sent. Rook, we're holding out against the Blight here as much as we can manage. Having wardens has helped, but we're still recovering. I've been trying to check on the local physician when I can. Ever. Cabin in the Blight. I know where that is. I know where that is. Solus. Oh, Solus. Oh, look who it is.
Remind me to take a look at your upper articulation later. I thought I saw a slight stiffness where your humeral head meets the scapula.
That it? Nothing else? Boom. Got parkour up in this bitch. Oh, Solus. Hello. I think I'm gonna grab my soda real quick. Here in a minute.
The fall of Weishaupt reverberated across the Fade, as did the fall of an archdemon.
But
Hell
unless
yeah.
I am mistaken, both Elganan and Gillenane yet stand.
We took
They
down
do.
Gillenane's archdemon, but we weren't able to kill her.
And how are you doing?
I'm hurting. Where? Where? I'm fine. Let's move on.
I came to you to figure out our next steps. I don't need a shoulder to cry on.
Of course. As a leader, you are wise to put away concerns and show only confidence to your team. And your adversaries. At least you still have Varric to talk to. What of
True.
your companions? How have they handled the events at Weishaupt?
Well, not so much. They're arguing.
They've spent a lot of time yelling at each other. Or me.
Not the worst outcome, all things considered. Properly focused,
True.
that anger can forge your team into a weapon keen enough to cut through any obstacle. You cannot stand against Elganan and Gillenane with logic. Those motivated by greed or self-interest will change alliances, but those who serve you with passion and loyalty will follow wherever you lead.
See, this
Even
is
to
how
their
you tell them
deaths,
to
if
do loyalty
necessary.
missions. That's how you do it. You didn't need Varric to fucking spell it out for me, game. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course I can. Who the fuck chooses these? Reality-denying assholes, that's who.
I knew I might have to make a call like that when Varric put me in charge.
A good
Word.
leader never makes such a decision lightly. But when the time comes, it is better to be prepared. And perhaps
It really does
will
feel
not come
whoever
to
wrote
that.
Solus got
The
some free
stronger
reign on
your
that.
team, the more chances you will have to avoid such a decision.
I'll keep that in mind. Do you have any suggestions on our next move against the gods?
If you oppose Elganan and Gillenane's minions, you will get your opportunity.
You think one of the
So is Solus
Altan or
actually the
Venatori
final boss?
commanders will help us find the gods?
Possibly. But more importantly, you will aggravate them. You rendered Gillenane mortal at Weishaupt. It is an embarrassment, an insult, neither she nor Elganan can ignore. If you continue to disrupt their plans, you will not
Womp
need
womp.
to track them down. They will come to you.
Womp, 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 womp. Would abandon the loyalty missions. They don't have Garrus or Garrus Vicarian. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it definitely feels like they're going for the loyalty mission thing for Mass Effect, which I don't mind. But again, Varric doesn't have to fucking spell it out for me. That's the thing. In Mass Effect 2, when they first did this kind of thing, because loyalty missions were like a new kind of thing, they did spell it out for you a little bit, but it was less hand-holdy and more like, yeah, ooh, if we're gonna do this, you're gonna have to make sure they're loyal to you. Do what's necessary to make it happen. I'm pretty sure it was the Elusive Man that said it too. It was like, do what's necessary to make it happen. Then you can take on the Collectors. You know, that kind of thing.
And then we get some payback for Weishaupt.
As long as you are ready when the opportunity comes.
Oh, I'll be ready.
One final warning. You have survived a confrontation with Gillenane, which few still live to claim. But her power pales in comparison to Elganan's. If he takes the field himself, remember, in a fight such as ours, escaping to fight another day is a victory.
Fair. I really wish they didn't have the fucking white transition screens. Bright. Holy shit. I'm pretty sure you actually have to do the loyalty missions. I don't think the game... I think you have to do at least some of them. Like, it's required. I seriously doubt this game will let you not do at least some of them. You know, unlike Mass Effect 2, which you could not do any of them, and you're just all gonna die. You might not even succeed, to be quite honest. That was my favorite part about Mass Effect 2, is that if you chose incorrectly, you could literally just fucking die.
Oh, hi, Brooke. Can I ask you a question? Actually, never
No.
mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, you're
Good.
several lines ahead of me here. Let's start with me saying, hi, Bellara.
Right. Okay. It's just, you know, the elf thing. We're fighting our gods. Our gods. It feels a little surreal, and I know surreal.
Leading the crew to slaughter.
Not like we had much of a choice.
Yeah.
So what was your question?
Wow, how prescient
Those
that
are
one.
our
Serendipitous
gods out
even.
there, rampaging around. Maybe people don't trust us. Maybe they shouldn't.
Let's do that one.
Every culture in Thedas has skeletons in its closet. Orlais, Fereld, and most of Tevinter's skeletons aren't even trying to hide. But that isn't who the elves have been for centuries.
That feels too easy. Like we're not taking responsibility. And I don't know, I feel guilty.
Hasn't it been like 2,000
Anytime
years?
I think about it, really.
At least
who's
1,000?
that helping?
Who's what helping?
Feeling guilty.
Well, no one, I guess, but
God,
then what should I
the
do?
inability to actually, like... Okay, here we go, finally. No.
Don't do anything. Just give it your best. That's all any of us can do.
And, you know,
That's
I like
fucking
to think I do
horrible.
things right. But can I really do that? After what my people did?
The Evanurists did those things. And they did them to your people.
So
Yeah.
they gave the
It's
Asian
hard.
elf white guilt.
All of it's hard. But I feel better. A little bit, anyways.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks
That's
for
too
talking
fucking
to
good,
me
man.
and listening to me.
I'm no bard, but I can talk. Glad it helped.
Well, you're good at it.
It's
See you
always
later,
the
Rook.
problem with the freaking dialogue wheels, is it never seems to match what you actually say. Never really seems to match what you're saying. Because I would not have chosen that option if I knew that's what I would have said. Okay, are we ready?
Lucanus? Are you in here brooding?
I'm fine.
That's not a no.
I had her. She should have never gotten away from me. This was our contract.
Yeah, how did you
Brooke.
miss?
I don't fail
How did you
my
miss?
contracts.
How did you miss? It was right there!
Let's call it what it was. Weishaupt was a disaster.
I thought I still had this. Even with Treviso suffering, I thought I could still focus on what mattered. I need to work.
Stay focused, buddy.
Focus on what you do best. Hitting your mark when they least expect it.
He
Gillinan
just said
will
I
remember
can't
that
focus.
scratch you gave her.
For all the good it did,
We didn't know what they were really capable of before. Now we do. We'll be ready next time.
He also doesn't have an archdemon.
I was distracted. That cannot happen again. I need to get my head on straight.
Whatever you need to do.
Have you been to talk to the others? Davrin, especially. I think everyone might have things to deal with now. It's been too long since I checked in with Viago. I should find out if things in Treviso are stable. If I need to return there, I'll let you know. I won't miss another chance to make things right.
By the way, it just beat me over the head again with the fact that I need to help people with loyalty missions. Just want to point that out. In case you didn't get it the first fucking time. What was that? No, that's not it. I don't think that's it either. Okay, whatever. Whatevs. I forgot to hit the button.
What more can the gods do?
I do like him a lot. I really do think, though, it's for two big reasons. One, he's an Antivan Crow with a thick-ass accent, and it reminds me of Zevran. And two, he's possessed. Yeah. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these two messages from our break screen. Stay tuned, my dudes, for more right here at the Tango Hotel. In Deus Ex, Adam Jensen ones at least. When you hover over the option, it tells you the first 2 or 3 sentences Adam is going to say. Why can't everyone? I don't know, man. It's like that's not the problem, actually. The problem is, if you have a fucking dialogue wheel, you got to make what the dialogue wheel says close to what the fuck it is your character says. It's like it boggles my mind. It's just like in Fallout 4, where the person who wrote the dialogue wheel didn't write the fucking dialogue. Be right back. We're back. Okay, so, yeah, you're right about Fallout 4. The problem with Fallout 4 and their dialogue wheel was, yes, a lot of your stuff was the sarcastic options were funny, but they still didn't match what you said. And even when you're in, you can't be, just like in this game, you can't be evil. And when you are trying to be evil, you're just more of a douchebag than evil in Fallout. And even a lot of the like good options are still just like it just like as soon as I got the mod that basically got rid of the dialogue wheel and just showed you what the sentences were, it was so much better. Although it wasn't that much better, but it was okay. It was so much better, but it wasn't good enough because, you know, they sucked at writing that game.
Davrin? Davrin, about Weishaupt.
I'm so sorry. No, fuck that.
One less archdemon in the world. At least you made them pay.
It wasn't enough. That's Renaud. Malmont. Anya. We used to argue. Who'd be the one to take an archdemon down? Who'd die so that others could live? Not sure any of us believed it'd actually happen.
When the moment came, you did the Wardens proud.
Did I?
Fair enough, son.
Because I'm still here. They're not.
Appreciate it. It is one of those things. But the thing about it is like if you check out my YouTube channel, I actually have a thoughts video on the game to tell you why I'm still playing it. And yeah, it pretty much explains it. Nope.
There's no getting them back. But at least they died heroes.
And I should have joined them. A Grey Warden kills an archdemon, they're supposed to die.
Who knows what happened? Maybe the gods changed things and the old rules don't apply. Why is being alive
did kill it.
a problem?
Because I didn't expect to be here. Grey Wardens have an expiration. It pushed me.
There's more fight to go.
And if we manage to pull that off?
You'll do what you do best. Hunt monsters.
Plenty of people can do that. I'm talking purpose. I feel like a blade sharpened all these years to confront the worst darkness in the world. And my blade struck true at Weishaupt. What now?
Well, you'll raise a song to create a world where the light outshines the
Fair
darkness.
enough.
Yeah?
I think I'm
Well,
at
let
about
me
like
tell
200.
you. That will require a lot more gingerwort truffles.
See, that's the thing, man. That none of this conversation that we just had anything to do with the Griffin. That was pretty good. And I got it, and the voice actors do a damn good job. That was a pretty good line. It's sad that the game is so bad. The dialogue is so bad that when they actually have good dialogue, I kind of have to point it out.
I don't want to hear any more talk about dying, okay?
Fair enough.
Oh, God. Really? That's not hard. That's not hard.
Who's counting on you?
Guess we're stuck with each other, boy. No getting rid of me now. Someday I might actually know what that means.
While you sort that out, maybe you and Akanis can try to bury the hatchet.
Yeah,
He had a rough time of it too.
I know. That was an incredible shot he took at Gillenane.
Then tell
Yeah,
him
it should have been
that.
in slow-mo is what it should have been.
Because fighting each other won't help us defeat the gods.
But we've got help. The Wardens, Shadow Dragons, Crows, Veil Jumpers, we're all in this together.
We are. But they've all got their own problems. If we want their help, we have to help them first.
Oh, I know, dude.
Is that a plan I hear forming?
I think it could be.
I want to play
Thanks, Davrin.
the London mod. But everybody I've looked at that's tried it, it's buggy as fuck. And I'm just, like, I'm tired of playing Bethesda games that are so fucking buggy I can't enjoy the game. It used to have charm with Fallout 3, even with Fallout 4 when it first came out. But I'm tired of playing buggy-ass games, man. I want games to work. I'm tired of that stupid shit.
Hey, son.
Oh my god. I mean, I can't say I would not have done the same, so fair enough on that. Yeah, my like it just, I don't know, man. And it's not only that, it's like I was okay with the direction Fallout 3 took when Bethesda got the
Meh.
rights and started
Let
making
coffee in the kitchen.
Fallout
You may-
because it was new and interesting.
Keen eye.
Did you boil it? If so, why?
I'm not picky. I got a cup and it does the job. That's all I ask.
I don't know where to go with this.
Excuse me. And I was, you know, and because it was new and fresh to the Fallout series, I was able to kind of deal. Even though there was a lot of incongruities, like, you know, because they switched to a different part of the United States. The fact that super mutants were still everywhere, rad scorpions, the same kind of flora and fauna just everywhere that was in the first ones was just kind of stupid, including death claws. And then, yeah. But then they made Fallout 4, and that's basically when I stopped liking Bethesda. You've upset Lucanus. Yeah, there we go.
I think your coffee hurt his feelings.
Apologies to you and the beans.
That was good. That was actually good.
I've been looking into the threads.
The Minrathus crime syndicate.
Yeah, smuggling, extortion, protection rackets. The threads have fingers in the lot. They stay out of slavery and they're decent about the rest, but something stirred them up. They've increased activity, changed their patterns. Docktown's in chaos. Remember Alec, the thread selling charms? He wants to talk and he doesn't reach out for nothing.
I have a feeling that's not going to be very funny.
Should we expect trouble?
Oh, probably, but I've got nothing planned.
There's always trouble.
If you need more coffee, I'll make it.
Well, now, is that sweet or trying to save me from myself?
Let's call it both.
Between bugs that do things that make a wood cutter chop wood with bread and eat hatchets, and the quest. Yes, exactly. The bugs that are funny and just make it a, you know, Bethesda game I'm okay with that. But you're right. Game-breaking bugs that fuck up quests and permanently shit on combat, yeah, they suck ass. Absolutely. And that's the problem. And it's like, because it's not just that, it's that Fallout 4 took the Bethesda problem that I had with Fallout 3 and even New Vegas a little bit to the next level. And what I mean by that is that the original Fallout games were the post-apocalyptic of a 1950s world pushed into like the 21st century, 22nd century. So it was as if people from the 1950s had said, hey, what would 2150 look like? And so what they did is they imagined what 2150 would look like. And then that's what Fallout, and that's what the pre-war era of Fallout was what someone from the 1940s or 50s would project into the future what the world would look like. They would take their aesthetics and their like way that they liked doing things, and they would project that into the future. That's kind of what it is. It's like if you've ever seen some of these drawings and concepts from like the 1800s of what the year 2000 would look like firemen with freaking like bat wings, you know, that were made out of canvas, and you know, giant blimps with like lightning guns coming out of it and shit. It was really cool. Retrofuturism. Bingo, that's the word. Thank you, sir. And the problem with Bethesda's Fallout, this was in 3, not as much in New Vegas because, you know, Obsidian knew what the fuck they were doing. And Fallout 4 is absolutely the worst with this problem. And the example is all of the guys in the gangster guys who are, you know the ones I'm talking about. In Fallout 4, there's a town you go to, and they all dress like 1930s gangsters. They all got fucking Tommy guns, and they all talk with like Chicago accents and shit. It like breaks the immersion so hard because it's not congruent. If instead, Triggermen, yes, because like the way you do it, they actually knew what. Look, this is why I want to rip my hair out over it, because you remember the baseball guy in the baseball bat guy who sells baseball bats in the stadium. I forget the name of the city, but it's where the reporter is. That guy is the perfect example of how to do old school of the way Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 did the retrofuturism post-apocalyptia. Because what he did is he looked at the past but had an incomplete picture and then built this weird false narrative around it, and then they project that 50, 100 years into the future, and boom, this guy thinks baseball was a fucking blood sport because they'd kill each other with baseball bats. It's fucking beautiful. It was absolutely magnificent writing. And then they fucked it up with everything else. Because that's exactly how Fallout 1 and 2 were with almost everything. Everything was like ahistorical. The only way you knew real history was not because people told you, it's because you went into the depths of everything and found it out yourself and saw the difference between what people thought history was and what the real history was. And it was very intriguing to see how it differentiated itself, because the writers of Fallout 1 and 2 understood this concept and knew that the unreliable historian shit was awesome and cool and added a bit of mystery to the game. And unfortunately, Bethesda doesn't know what the fuck they're doing at all, period. The Triggermen is the primary example of how fucking retarded they are. Because what they should have done with the Triggermen is having the Tommy guns and the suits and the Chicago accents and having them all act exactly like gangsters from the 1930s is not the way to do it. You do it just like you did the baseball guy. You take one or two of the things, like maybe the suits and the Tommy guns, but you change them to be something completely different other than gangsters. Or you take the gangster mentality with the Tommy guns, but instead of wearing like pimp suits from the 1930s, they wear like miners' outfits or something, you know, something just fucking ridiculous, and then try to come up with a way to justify it because they had an incomplete picture, and then someone made some shit up, and boom, you've got basically gangster miners or something just off the wall stupid like that. Or give them like ray guns or something instead of Tommy guns. You got to change it, but instead they made it basically an exact copy of what of 1930s gangsters would be, and it's like you're like 500 or 3. I forget what year Fallout 4 is in, but it's like 200 to 500 years after the 1930s, and this is already past the like 1950s aesthetic that had gone on for like over 100 years. And it makes no fucking sense in the world. Exactly. They were trying to make a parody of a gangster, but they were so retarded, they just made fucking gangsters and thought it'd be funny. And it's so off-putting in the world because it's not congruent with how people function. And with the ability that people would have to be able to like actually tell history, they would have at best a fragmentation of what would be going on. It's just like, you remember that? I don't know how if you watched Star Trek, the original series, but there was an episode where they found a planet that was basically full of 1930s gangsters. They all spoke with Chicago accents. They all had Tommy guns, and the entire world government was run by syndicates of crime lords. It was cool because at the time it was a new thing. And basically what had happened was 100 years before Kirk arrived at the planet and the Enterprise arrived at the planet, before the Prime Directive was set in stone, an exploration ship that was done by the early Starfleet, non-Federation affiliated, because they hadn't formed yet, left a book on the planet. They met the natives, they talked, and they basically traded a book about basically gangsters to these people. And it was basically a historical book about gangsters from Chicago. So they literally had a blueprint on how to make the gangsters and how to do all the culture of the slang. It had diagrams of fucking guns and like clothes and how to make them and what they were made. Like literally an instruction manual on how to turn your entire fucking society into 1930s gangsters, right? And it was hilarious. It was really cool. But that was in the 1960s to us. So like 80 fucking years ago. And people in Fallout 200 to 500 years after the 1930s with completely unbelievable accuracy were able to replicate it with no instruction manual at all. It's just mind-boggling. Fucking mind-boggling. Anyway, but yeah, that episode is really cool because it basically has that same premise, but it justifies it because they had a manual, and these were really primitive people. I believe they were pre-industrial revolution, so they were just coming out of the Renaissance, and out of their Renaissance essentially. You know, just basically starting the Enlightenment period, and then boom, these idiots come by, and I don't know. You know, it sounds stupid that they would adopt like all the gangster stuff, but it was just, you know, they're primitives, and they saw these beings from another planet like literally come down from the fucking sky, and it's like, well, you know, maybe this is how they did it, and so they wanted to emulate, and it's really fucking cool. And the best part is if you read the Star Trek books, there are people in the Star Trek books that still come from that planet, and almost all of them still speak like fucking gangsters from Chicago. Now they've unfucked their entire society, so they're not actually gangsters anymore. But one of the characters is aboard. I believe it's Star Trek Corps of Engineers is the book series, and I think it's about book 6 or 7. A guy from I can't remember the name of the planet, but he comes aboard and he calls his commanding officer, who is a woman, Toots. Oh boy. and she was like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And he, oh yeah, it was so good. Like her commanding officer had to come in and be like, whoa, 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 he's from that planet and it was an accident. It was just a cool cultural moment that would it happened because of this thing that happened like 200 years ago, of a thing that happened 100 years before that, and it's like an extended timeline. I mean, it's just, that's how you fucking do it. Sorry. That was a hell of a rant, my bad.
Done in a sec. Morning ritual. The Darsam.
Whoa.
You're Canary. Your family teach you about them?
A little bit. Binding the rope symbolizes your tie to the Qun.
My mother made me do it every morning before breakfast. I had big fingers. Used to take me forever. Avatash. Shokratoebra. Only a beast is confounded by knots. A girl masters herself and the Darsam.
Absolutely not. What did you need?
You said you wanted to see me?
Yeah.
Rook, Tosh, glad I caught you both. The Grey Wardens found a cave that one of the Blighted Dragons uses as its lair.
Where?
In the Husberg wetlands.
Hang on a second.
There's no sign of the dragon itself, though.
I should check it out. We need to know how different the Blighted Dragons really are. They might turn into something like Gillenane's archdemon did. If there's a clue, I have to be ready.
I'm telling you, man, if Tosh didn't have all that non-binary shit and all the gay-ass writing around it, I think she would be a much better character. Because her being an immature 13-year-old is actually not that off-putting if you understand like her mommy issues kind of deal, right? That's that kind of thing. She was literally raised by her mother and fucking pirates. So you have the oppressive Kunari female who is like all oppressed by the Qun in her head, but left because she didn't want her daughter to be a fucking, you know, basically a vanguard of the army. And then she finds shelter in these pirates who help raise her daughter and turn her basically into a teenager for the rest of her life. She's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can work. But they just had to make her, they just had to do all the stupid shit for today. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's all the worse that you find Nick Valentine. I forgot that you found him there. Who's that? What is that? Oh, it's my shirt. Okay. I forgot that, dude. Who actually has a good reason? Yes, exactly. He is actually a good a good reason to be the way he is and be like an exact replica of a Private Eye from that era. You are exactly right. Yeah, I don't know, man. Put a chick in, make her lame and gay. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, actually, that's true. Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna have to make a video about this too, man, because it's like one of the and I've ranted about this. I don't know how many times on this channel. That I despise the fact that that by default in Baldur's Gate 3 and apparently in this game you can romance everyone. One of the things I liked most about Inquisition and its dealing with all this shit is that if you were a dude and you hit on Sarah, she would fucking smack you down so quick it wasn't even funny. And even look at you like you had two heads. Like with the whole, yeah. I loved that because that's exactly how it should go. If you're gay, you're gay. If you're straight, you're straight. If you're bi, you're bi. That's the way it should be. And it makes them incomplete characters if everyone can romance everyone else. Or excuse me, it basically, it's the game telling you you're the main character if you can romance everybody. If you are able to romance everybody, that's what it does. And there should be characters that you can't romance. period. Like in Dragon Age Origins, you couldn't romance win. If you try, she giggles at you and is like, no, 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 I'm too old for you. And if you keep pushing it, she'll get fucking mad at you. That's perfect. That's characterization. That's how you flesh out the world. Oh, it's so good. It was so good. And everybody loved Baldur's Gate 3, and I love Baldur's Gate 3 too, but I thought that was the dumbest fucking thing they ever did. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to make it to where everybody can be romanced, make it an option under gameplay or something, or interface or something like that. Make it an option in the menus. Don't make every single character. What is the word I'm looking for? Is it pansexual or whatever the fuck it is, or demisexual? I can't remember what it is. Where you're basically attracted to. You could be attracted to anybody. You could say they're bisexual, but that's not accurate, because I'm bisexual, but I'm not attracted to men romantically, right? So that's different. that's definitely different. I don't date men. That's not there. Like, ugh. And you know what's funny? I heard that the new Tomb Raider cartoon, I've watched some reviews of it, and apparently instead of putting a chick in it and making her lame and gay, they put a black dude in it and made him lame and gay. So at least they're evolving, right? Right. Oh, and it's sad because I think in the video games, the newest ones, he was like a really masculine black man, and they basically emasculated him and turned him gay. Give Lucanus time. Wait, what? So nothing. Okay. Can we go to... I think we're gonna do... What time is it? Okay, let's do this one. Bisexual, hetero-romantic, if I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I do not find men romantically available to me. It's just mm-mm. It's like if it's on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being straight and 0 being gay, I'm like 6 or a 7. I like boobs way too much. Specifically. Did he level up? He did. Okay, what are we gonna give him? Does he already have that? He did. What is this? Necrotic damage, apply sundered, okay. Oh yeah, I didn't want either one of those. Debilitate. When this ability deals critical hit, any you gain precision. Okay, that sucks. Damage versus barrier. Nice. By the way, he's hardened because I chose to save Teventer over saving Treviso. And the reason is because it makes the most sense, right? We're fighting the gods. If Teventer falls, then the Venatori could potentially take over the government, which would make it horrible. Or Treviso, civilians die. Don't get me wrong, civilians dying is bad, but when you have two shitty options, you got to choose the most pragmatic one of the shitty options. It's basically like voting, at least in the U.S. anyway. Damage versus high health, extra hit, applies necrosis and bleeding. Ah, this reduces their necrotic resistance. Okay. Speeds and enemies cooldowns reduced by 75%. Okay, we're just gonna go. Okay. Emmerich did not level up. What does this do? Revival charges. That's cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. Nev. Vulnerable to cold. This attack target goes barrier damage. Okay, we're gonna make sure we grab that. That's fine. Tosh. We're gonna have to fight a dragon with her, so I'm gonna keep that. You know, it's funny. I might want to take her on that dragon fight that I got instead of Davrin. Yeah, look at that. Deals 25% damage versus health. This bonus is doubled versus dragons. She doesn't have the ability to taunt, though. Vulnerability to fire. Ooh. Ooh. That's pretty good. More damage, less staggering. I'd be fine. Myself having a moment. I could imagine having another man, but I want kids. I'm on for one. I have some convictions to go by as a God-fearing man. Well, there you go, man. I mean, that's the thing, is that it doesn't matter if you're gay or straight or bi. It's like, if you choose to be, like you say, a God-fearing man, then by all means, man, you do you, right? That shows even extra conviction because, you know, if you deny yourself things that you could potentially want because you wish to live a certain type of lifestyle, well, there you go. Tosh gains weapon damage. Tosh always critical down knocked enemies. Or we use... Ooh, maximum burning stacks. That's kind of cool. Taunted dragons gain 50%. Is that taunt? No. This is taunt, right? Yes. Forcing them to attack briefly. This does not affect some of the strongest boss enemies. Applies overwhelmed. Detonates weakened. Applies burning to the target. Okay. Skills. Skizzles. Is this her thing? What does this do? 10% more damage. Cooldown. Where's the one that does... Dealing damage, applies burning to all enemies. That's cool. There it is. Applies burning to the targets. What does this one do? Damage versus health. Damage versus burning. Deals an additional ooh. Offhand attack deals 50% more physical damage on top of the damage dealt by the initial strike. Whoa, 100% stagger. What does this one do? Shockwave on impact has reduced radius, but adds 2 stacks. Oh, man, that makes me not want to use it. Okay. What is... Whoa, do you see that? While this effect is active, you replenish 50 health per second. That's pretty good. That seems pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. 300 damage to all affected enemies. That's pretty good too. Adds 1 stack of any active affliction. Ignores next impact. Damn. That's pretty good. And then we got Bellara. Did you level up? You did. I kind of don't give a fuck. So let's just do this. I'm literally never going to have her in my party unless I have to. So she's got a heal. She applies weaken. Wait. She's a mage? Oh, man, that sucks. I thought she was a rogue. She's a fucking mage, too. Yeah, she is. She's a bow and arrow type mage. That kind of sucks. Yeah. The reason I say that... Oh, that's so cool. I forgot about that. Yeah, the reason I say that, so I would basically... I thought she was a rogue, but no, she's a mage. And the reason I say that is because all mages, Imric, Nev, and me, have Apply Weaken and Detonate Sunder. Right? Like, watch. Let me show you. Emmerich. Apply weaken, detonate sunder. I had him in my group for a while because I really like him, but to make my group efficient, you need a warrior and a rogue to like get all the combo shit going on. You really don't need it, but I like it, so I'm gonna do it anyway. It just sucks that you don't get more stuff for that. I mean, I kind of do, right? Because I have skills that can apply other stuff. Like I could technically get overwhelm. Lightning applies overwhelm, so I could have another mage in my group that detonates sunder. Applies weaken. Shit. Okay. Is there any? Do I have anything that applies overwhelm as well? Detonate sunder. So I do not have the ability to apply sunder at all. Period. I don't think. What does this do? Nothing. What about this one? Yeah, applies weaken. So there you go. Yeah, it's just, yeah. So we can apply weaken and detonate sunder. And I have 2 abilities that do overwhelm, but I do not have the ability to detonate overwhelm, nor do I have the ability to detonate sunder or to put sunder on somebody. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, anyway. All right. So, my dudes. Investigate the blighted pathway. Can I just travel there? I have a missive. Tosh, there's an annoying new guy, Cutter. He's trying to stir up interest. Attack on the dragon. Okay. I think in Skyrim, making everyone romanceable is kind of fair. That game wears you are the main character on its sleeve. That's fair. Yeah, you're right. You can kill a man by screaming at him and is destined to kill a dragon. Yeah, the chosen one narrative. I get what you're saying, but what I am trying to put down here is that it... What the fuck is that? Art of Corruption. Yeah, we're gonna go here. I want to go to that. What I'm trying to put down is that it's shitty characterization. That's what I'm trying to say. Is it's shitty characterization. So it makes it to where your characters don't feel like real people. Because they're essentially just there for you to fuck them. And that feels kind of stupid. If you know what I'm saying. Don't Skyrim the Mass Effect, yeah. Like, the fact that it, like, to bring up Mass Effect, it's cool that Liara is, you could be either male or female and Liara will still bang you, right? But the other characters, are the other characters? I can't remember. Are the other characters also, what is it, pansexual? I think that's what it's called. I don't remember in Mass Effect if you can bang everybody, or if you're a dude, will Garrus turn you down? Don't you need a mod to have a gay relationship with Garrus? I think you need to be female to romance Garrus, right? I think. And it makes them more of a character because the thing about it is that even though I hate identity politics, there is something very true that comes from that, and it's the fact that your sexuality and who you like to bang and who you want to romance with is actually part of who you are. Not a gigantic part, but it actually does inform every other part of your life. Even if it's not truly a personality trait. I think what you're saying, yeah. So, like, I despise people who make their sexuality all about that. It's here's the perfect example. There's 2, and it's both about guys. Well, you could do lesbians too, but it's the gay guy who's literally just gay. That's his whole fucking personality, is just he's gay. And that's it. And that is just like a straight guy who his entire personality is about banging chicks. And that's all he talks about. That's all he thinks